Hello everyone, my name is Sebastian Bakatubia. Today I would like to share with you about my research entitled The Impact of Organizational Resources on Customers' Satisfaction. Organizations often align their resources to achieve their goal. Researchers on organizational strategy have well documented this topic. This research builds on a resource-based view aimed to identify key resources that satisfy customers the most. In a crowded and very intense competitive educational sector, finding your key resource to capitalize on seems to be a must. 4 experiments indicate that human resources tend to be the satisfying resource on which a cram school can invest and get a competitive edge. The educational system is becoming not only complex but also demanding due to players coming in. Many countries are framing the educational system to the international standard, which by itself is difficult to define. But at large, the adoption of English as the language used gives the sense of getting into the realm of international sphere. Taiwan uses Mandarin Chinese as the official language of teaching in school, still giving large freedom to add some foreign language. Some schools offer the possibility of bilingual teaching, Mandarin Chinese and English. With the emergence of cram school or after-school care, the educational system becomes not only a challenge but also a burden for families. Parents who have good income tend to bring their children to a well-known school and a better after-school program to prepare a better future. Families with low income are likely bound to send their children to a cram school. Critical view. Management scholars emphasize that organizational capabilities will have an impact on customers' evaluation. In this research, cram school will be referred as the organization and family as the customer. Achieving a substantial, sustainable competitive advantage has always been what organizations seek and what much of the researchers are about. This is not to say emphasizing organizational capability is new. Rather, we continue on the long tradition of management strategists who have adopted this as a groundwork to evaluate performance. Definitions. It's useful to clarify the concept in use before going further. This research uses research-based view coined by Bernie in 1991 as to summarize an aggregation of characteristics that help the organization to have a sustainable competitive advantage. Porter defines organizational resource as the strength that abound within the organization and help to attain its goal. Bernie, while analyzing organizational resources, has found that they can be regrouped in three major areas. First is the physical resources that comprise building, technology, and location. Second is human resources, which comprise human capabilities, trainings, experience, human knowledge, skill, and the state of health. The third is the organizational resources, which are mostly intangible assets, and here reputation can be included. During this research, we conducted 4 experiments to ask participants what they value most in our organization. In the first experiment, we asked 100 participants, mostly the neighborhood, to enumerate what they liked the most in our organization. As the graph showed, most of them replied that reputation is the most they like. Aside of the reputation, also the location, because the church is located within 2 elementary school and 2 junior and senior high school. In the second experiment, we direct this experiment to the parents and children attending our program, asking them to mention what do they are satisfied of. Most of them reply saying English, which is a part of service, is the most that satisfies them. Second is still a reputation. Third, location. The other 2 also are part of the service but get a low appreciation, music and mathematics. The third experiment, we particularly ask the children who among the 3 teachers satisfying them the most. Most of them reply by saying English teacher is the one satisfying them the most. Here I may give an explanation. The English was taught by a veteran American Marines who devoted its time to give to these children a basic knowledge in English. Time to time, he used to bring them to McDonald's and KFC so that children can practice what they have learned. From that, kids and their parents loved English. Although music and mathematics were taught by a professional, but kids and their parents loved English because of that the presence of the American. In the experiment, we extend the question to non-beneficiary of our service, asking them who among the 3 services provide will potentially satisfying them. As you can see from the graph, most of them have put English as their first choice, since it was taught by a foreigner. Although the other 2 were taught also by a professional, but it seems people love the presence of a foreigner. analysis. Through this experiment, we wanted to ask customers' behavior toward the organization that wants to provide a service to alleviate the need of some families. At first, neighboring mentioned that the reputation of the organization was a foundation to start such a service, but later we saw that human resources prevailed because from the second experiment to the last, most of the people enjoy and appreciate the presence of an American teaching English. As appointed by strategists, resources should be rare, meaning not easily duplicated by competitor. In the present case, hiring a foreign English teacher can be easily duplicated by a competitor, and once turn the advantage to something common. But the psychological effect of that resource may still be valuable in certain circumstances and certain conditions. Monitoring what resource to focus on is a continual endeavor. Although the human resources tend to be the more favorable during this experiment, the other two resources, physical and organizational, still valuable, especially in the case of family with low income. The organization serves as the backbones that sustain the physical and the human resources. This experiment shows also which one the project can capitalize on. Thank you for your attention. Now the floor is yours. If you have any question or you want to mention or something to clarify, it's your time. Thank you.